and welcome to As Featured in the Own It magazine. I am Marisa Blumer, and I am the editor in chief. And I am so excited to be here today with contributing writer and Teresa and Palmer. We're going to be discussing her part in the Own It magazine. We're going to also talk about her book. We're going to talk about the practice that she has and so much more. And so, without further ado, take it to the stage and owning it with me is Teresa Ann Palmer.
Hi,
Yay!
everybody. Hey, thank you for having me today.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. Love our conversations in regards to self awareness and just giving people power back into their own possession and that they can navigate through this thing called life successfully and really see some of the things that could cause them to not show up as well and how they can use methods, mindset, how they're seeing things to kind of, make this life a more fulfilling life and more fun and like you always say, having a peace of mind in this thing called life. And so, really excited to have you here with me. I want to start off because we are on the Own It magazine platform, and I want to just was saying to you, share with a little bit. Some of the audience may know you because you're not new to the platform, but some may not know you. So just give a little intro of who you are, but also share about your experience with Own It, why you feel like, how you feel about it being a part of the work that you do and how you get the message out there in regards to your approach to healing the heart from within.
Okay, I am Teresa Ann Palmer. I'm a nurse practitioner, and in parts of the world or other parts of the country, it may be known more as an advanced practice nurse. And my expertise is cardiology, holistic cardiology. And what I do is I've always believed that we're mind, body, spirit, and all that has to work together. So what I do is I take a whole person approach to heart health, and that's the mind, that's emotions, how we perceive things, how we process emotions, the body, understanding your body, understanding what your heart does, what the rest of your body does, kind of like how your body's almost like a machine, it's energy. So giving people this understanding, just like if they understood their car, they would be able to know if something goes wrong with it, and even in certain circumstances, how to fix it. And then spirit, who you are you being yourself? Do you feel comfortable with who you are and what you were intended to be and that connection to that higher power. So I've always utilized all three things in my practice. Up until recently, I worked in a cardiology practice that was not my own cardiology practice. And now, what I'm looking to do, I'm transitioning into really going out more on my own and really helping people through education, through consulting work online, to really help them understand that they are in control and they are in charge of their health and well-being, and that we all have this power. It's the power within us, it's personal power. And I firmly believe that power is in the heart, because the heart is also the seat of our soul. And it doesn't really matter if people really believe that or not, but we're all connected to a higher power, and it doesn't matter what you believe that higher power is. It's just knowing that we don't do this all by ourselves, and we can't do everything all by ourselves. And sometimes we have to trust in something that is higher than us. And again, those are all, doesn't matter what you believe. It's just that you have this connection, and when you could really connect and understand your heart, you could really understand then your connection to your life. Because if you look at your heartbeat, it really is the rhythm of your life. So that's my brief introduction. And why I like Own It Magazine is Own It Magazine is really about mind, body, spirit, and it's about self awareness, self development. And I think it's an excellent platform to really help people to understand and to really help them go further with their self development, their self awareness. And some of that has to do with health per se. I do function, I do really do more with heart health, but again, it's a mind, body, spirit. So every month in the magazine, I give people tips on how to really take control and take charge of their health and well being, and letting them know that they have this power within them, and this power could help them in every area of their life. So I do things like breath work, yoga, your the functioning of the heart, what stress does to the body, and I do accompanying videos. And a lot of times those videos may teach you breath work, may teach you a specific type of yoga. I did one article on yoga nidra, which I think is an important part of relaxation of yoga, and it's something that everybody could do, so you don't have to have any training or any type of expertise or be flexible or have any knowledge of even exercise. You're basically just lying down and concentrating on every part of your body. I talk about what stress does to the body so that people are aware that when they're under stress, that their body is in an imbalance, and that imbalance could lead to thyroid problems, it could lead to diabetes, to heart disease. So again, them being aware of these things gives them the opportunity to change it. And I think it's the perfect magazine for people because I do the written and the video. So some people, when they read, they may not take everything in, and they may be more visual in hearing. So I think it gives them an opportunity to have everything, to really engage all their senses. It's a beautiful magazine, and it's got so many different authors. We all come from different walks of life, and all that merges and integrates together into one magazine that really covers everything. I mean, it covers your health physically, it covers your health emotionally, it covers finances, and finances again are emotional, spiritual, and physical. So it just covers everything. We have coaches, we have authors, we have people in the health profession, we have people in psychology, really authors from everywhere, and I just think it's really just a great platform to be on, and it really gives me a chance to express what the message that I have, and also allowing people then to be able to pick and choose what resonates with them, and what really helps them. So I want to thank you for that magazine. I think it's really vital for everyone. So
Yes, thank
I
you.
hope I covered it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you're such a major contribution to the magazine and really dealing with the heart, because out of the heart flows the issues of life, out of the abundance of our heart. And our heart carries a lot more than we really focus on. And we allow it and give it its kudos for surviving. Some of the things that we put on our heart, based on our own choices, we put on our hearts. It's a lot. It's a lot that we put on our hearts, and you bring up such a very important and very neglected area that needs a lot of attention too. And you're right. You know, we didn't create ourselves, so somebody out there created and designed us, and we got to recognize that. And they designed us in a specific way. And the more that we take the opportunity to get connected to that way and appreciate and value it, we can just benefit so much more. We ourselves can benefit. And then when we are happy, we want to make other people happy. You talked about in another interview how it's contagious, right? And Maslow's hierarchy of needs talks about that. When you reach self actualization, and I don't believe that he meant perfection or mastering it all. It says coming at peace with oneself. I believe that it meant authenticity of the true inner self. And it feels so good, Maslow argues, that you want to go back down and bring and elevate other people up. And I don't think that folks really talk about where Maslow says that your heart is so convicted, that it's so full that it wants to teach other people to walk in this actualization, that this actually can be a reality for you. And so you do that with saying, wait, let's come back from a negative and an point as it pertains to our heart, because 9 times out of 10 we disconnect from childhood into adulthood. There's some kind of a breach of the gap. And there's a we allow life to happen to us. And when we allow life to happen to us, we disconnect from the positive and the beauty of the heart. And we begin to try to protect ourselves from the world and from our heart, to the point that we get heart dis-ease. Not disease, but we get heart dis-ease, and we disengage from the heart, from being a child and coming into that adulthood. And what you do is you bring that romance back together like it's meant to be. It's like, listen, don't, and even for those who have not entered into any issues with the heart, this book right here is very important for us to grab a hold of it, get connected with this book, read everything that's in it, take out what you want or take it all. But it will rekindle that fire, because there's a fire. Passion is in the heart. And when we can live in the heart, we can live with a heart that we don't have to be defensive, that we are so proactive and we are so in tune with ourselves that um, we're not defending ourselves, that we're actually embracing, through resilience, we're embracing everything that this life has to offer us, and we're able to embrace it from the heart. And so I believe that your work is extremely important. And I don't know if I expressed that enough, but it is extremely important. And it's an honor to have you in the Own It magazine to share your expertise, your insight, and your methodology, your ideology, so that we can learn. And those who are open minded, and I'll say this from a believer's perspective, it says God is sovereign. You either choose him or you don't. You don't have to choose him. And that's what this information is really like. It's like, here we are giving you this. You choose what you want to choose. All we can do is bring you to the water. We cannot make you drink. We want you to drink. We want you to drink because we know that if you drink, you'll stay nutrient. You'll have nutrients. You'll stay, hydrated, and all that good stuff will come from it. But we are created. We are designed in a specific way, and then when we begin to embrace and dive into that design, we can understand how it works. You can't buy a tool or device without instructions. So you need the instructions. This is what is the instructions. So I want to segue into your book. While we have time, I want to segue into your book. You left in our last interview. You really broke down the chakras, and I really really love that. And so I want you to share with us the importance of the breathing and the meditation in just a different way. And also, too, how when you are conscious or how you when you're awakened, you can actually be in a crisis but gain control over it. If you use that cognition, right? If you use this technique, you can actually be in a crisis and consciously talk yourself back out of going over the ledge. And I've been there where you get anxious and you get nervous. You're in a scenario, you're in a situation, you get anxious or nervous. I have been where I was walking and felt like I was going to faint. And had to like talk myself out of fainting, consciously saying, okay, breathe, get your breath in alignment, breathe, calm yourself. You don't, and I had to say to myself, you don't have to pass out. You don't have to go that route. And just calm, not getting like I can win the day. It wasn't ego. It was being intentional. You don't want to pass out. So don't pass out. Just breathe and calm yourself. About how powerful the self awareness and using the technique of meditating and breathing can be critically important in times of crisis.
Yes, definitely. It's all about self awareness and it's all about being in touch with yourself. And that includes your physical body. And a lot of times we're not in touch with our physical body until something goes wrong or something happens. And then it becomes a concern. And the same thing with the heart. In medicine, we talk about heart disease, heart failure, heart arrhythmias, heart attack. Everything's kind of negative, what could happen to the heart, but not really what's good with the heart. And when you do things like meditation and breath work, what you're doing is you're using your heart for what is really good for it, that it connects to the parasympathetic nervous system, it connects to the vagus nerve, and it helps promote inner peace and calm, and it helps eliminate or reduce or get rid of the stress hormones that come from the signal to the brain. So when you do meditation, you're going inside yourself. And people may say, oh, I have trouble sitting still. I can't meditate. I can't do this for 15, 20 minutes. Even if you could take 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night, just sit quietly. That means no phone, no kids, no animals, nothing distracting you. Just means sitting. Or if you choose to, even lying down and just close your eyes. And when you do that, focus on the sensations in your body. I always tell people to concentrate on their heart, their heartbeat, because your heart beating is really your rhythm of your life. And your heart beats without you really realizing it. So if you could sit quietly, place your hand over your heart, the left side of your chest, and just concentrate on that beat, that lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, it becomes a calming mechanism because you're not focusing on worry, anxiety, what's going on around you. You're just focusing on your heartbeat and you're getting to know your own heartbeat. And it could be a little different for different people because your heartbeat is unique to you. Even though most of the time it's what's called a normal rhythm, there are other rhythms of the heart, and I'm not going to get into that. But everybody, it's like your fingerprint. We all have them, or your footprint. It's just that it's all unique to you. So when you sit there and you just concentrate on you automatically go into peace and calm. And now you could also add the breathing. And breath work is so important because, again, like our heartbeat, breathing just happens. And we don't think about our breath until we can't catch our breath. And then it becomes a concern. So if we could concentrate throughout the day on our breathing, taking a deep breath in through the nose to about the count of 6, holding it for a moment if we can. If you can't, that's okay. And then just exhaling out to the count of 8, you automatically calm yourself down. And you automatically, the heart connects directly to the vagus nerve, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what gives us inner peace and calm and sends the signal to the brain to turn off the stress hormones. So you may remember, I remember when I was young, if I would get upset about something, my mother would say, take a deep breath. Before you do anything, before you react, take a deep breath. And it's that deep breath that actually calms you down, actually helps you access the higher part of your brain, the central intelligence, the cortex, rather than the amygdala, which is that reactive survival part. So even if you're angry about something, before you react or send an email or say something, if you take that deep breath, it gives you that moment to even think, to get into a higher consciousness, the higher part of your brain, and to say, do I really want to say that? Do I really want to send that email? Maybe I need to calm down and think about it a little bit more before I do it. So that's practicality, what the meditation and the breath work does. What it does for your body, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, is it helps keep your body in balance. And our body is all energy, it's all vibration. When you look at the cells, the organs, it's all this exchange between sodium, potassium, chloride, oxygen, all these different components, these chemical components that make up the body. So even though we're these truly wonderful creations, at the very root of all of this is that we're all energy. And we can control the energy that comes into our body, the energy that goes out, and it's all by being aware. So when you practice meditation, you're not only calming yourself down, you're becoming aware of your physical body. By concentrating on your heartbeat, you're becoming aware of your heart, that beat, the beat of your life. And also, if you're having any pain or if you want to scan your body when you're sitting or lying there without any distraction, look if there's any area of the body that you're feeling any tension, if any part of your body has any pain. And then focus your breathing, the in and out breath, on that part of the body. And what you'll begin to see is that the pain will either lessen or the pain may go away because now you're shifting your awareness. So
Yes.
sometimes people take pain medication for chronic pain because they're focused on the pain. Something went on or they have a condition where it's painful. But if you could distract your mind and you could take your focus away from that pain, you'll find that it doesn't bother you as much because now your focus is on something else. So that's another thing that breathing and meditation do for us. It takes the focus off of what's bothering us, what's wrong, and it gets us more into that state of what's right with us. And again, giving us the power because we have that power within us. We just don't always utilize it, that power to take charge and take control of our health, our well being, take control of our life physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And when we also use meditation, it helps us with that inner knowing, which is our intuition. And that intuition isn't reading minds. There's no way nobody could read anybody's mind. If somebody tells you they can, it's a stage show and it's just for effect. But that inner knowing lets you know that something is either good and it feels good within our heart, or there's a red flag and something just doesn't feel right. And I've always told my patients if something doesn't feel right to you, it's not right. There's something more worth investigating.
Right.
And again, that's where meditation, breath work comes in because it gives you that focus to really concentrate and say, what am I feeling? How am I feeling that? If I have this pain, is it something, do I feel inside me that something's going on with me? And if you feel there's something going on with you, you have to honor that because we always know what's wrong. It's that we don't trust ourselves to give
Exactly.
ourselves the answer and to pursue it. Because, especially in the United States, we've been conditioned to look to other people to treat us, to treat our conditions, to tell us what's right and wrong. We look outside ourselves for who we are, what we want to do, how we should live our lives. We're socially conditioned to go outside ourselves and not utilize what's inside of us. And it could be a little scary, but once we start to do it, we realize that, hey, I do have control. I
Right.
have control of about 70% of my health and well being. I have control of my life. Sure, something could happen. Things change at the last minute, unexpected things that we can't control. But about 70% of our health and our life, we're really in control of. It's just a matter of us getting in the driver's seat and going where we want to go rather than being told that this is the route you should take or being pushed into another direction that we may not really like, but we feel that we have to go to.
Yeah. Very good. I mean, I can't. I'm gonna share this, and then I'm gonna digress and close us out. Um, because everything you said in this totality is right on. It's right on point. I can share a couple of things. And one of the things that I wanted to share was one day my older brother and I we were walking home. We had to walk home from gymnastics, and gymnastics I think at that time was maybe about three. It probably was like more like 6 miles from where we lived, and we're young, so we were walking home, and I think it was a little chilly outside. It had to be fall because there were leaves on the ground. And you're talking about deflecting, right? You're taking your focus off of the challenge, and you're tricking yourself, and so that you don't look at what you feel like is not possible, and you're focusing on something else. And so what he said to me, and my brother was always showed up in my life like this. He said, Marisa, grab the leaves from the ground because remember it's fall, so the leaves are hard. And he said, we're gonna run all the way home. So we're gonna run all the way home. We're not gonna walk. We're gonna run all the way home. That was his challenge. So we would scoop up the leaves, crumble them in our ears. Because back then we had boom boxes. You didn't have earbuds or nothing like that. You either had boom boxes, CD player, something that you didn't want to run all the way home with. So we didn't have them anyway. We had to walk, and it was me and him. So we would scoop up the leaves, crunch them in our ears, and we would keep running. And we did it the whole way home. And the exercise of doing that took our mind off of the impossible. We were going to run all the way home. Are you kidding me? No way. And so that was just one instance that took me like where we had a control. We had the option. We could either say no, that's impossible and not do it, or we could figure out a way to make it happen. And it was a lot of fun. He always knows how to make stuff fun. Very adventurous. That's probably why I can live in the DR like I am. The other instance is recent. So that was me, teen, but recently. So I'm on this journey, and I'm like, I gotta get this weight off of me. I gotta get, and then I started to also feel. So when you start, if you allow yourself, when I started doing the stretching, I started realizing that, wait a minute, there's some cobwebs over here. Like I have not moved this part of my body in so long that I've neglected it, and it's like, oh my God, I neglected this area of my body. So the trainer that's at the gym was telling me that, Marisa, you have to go slow and then spike your intensity. Go slow and then spike your intensity. And I don't like running. I'm not a runner. I could walk fast all day long, but running is not my thing. I can tell you now today, I can run on a treadmill and it doesn't even matter. I can run the whole time on that treadmill or just a couple of minutes, go intensity, go slow. But in the beginning, 30 seconds, it was just like, can this 30 seconds be over? Like, really focus on it. But like you said before, if you just stay
Mhm.
at it, then it becomes easier. And I'm going to be 56 this year. So it's telling you that it's not too late to want to get your body back in shape. It's not too late to move those areas and alleviate some of that pain is because you've not been moving the body and you're allowing your body to stiffen up. The older we get, the stiffer we become. And so we got to move this body. We got to and it takes time. And so I told the trainer there is younger, and I told him when he first started, I said, just relax. Let me go little and a little, and I'll get back to where you want me to be. But I'm older because most of the time they don't see me being 56. They see me being much younger. But I got to let you know that no, I am this age, so I need time to get up to do what you're trying to tell me to do. But I know that it's over time. So I removed the
Yeah.
anxiety of saying, hey, I know the results can come, but I'm at peace at knowing they're going to come in time. And the reward is in my commitment and consistency. And I have to do this above anybody else. I have to do this, and it has to be me loving myself for longevity's sake and for quality of life's sake. And pills and medication is not going to do that. You need to know what your body is actually missing in nutrition, nutritional value. Find that out. Replace the medicine as much as possible with nutrients and getting out there and getting physically fit with your body and taking your time
Yeah.
in doing it. And no repeating because the body does remember. I don't care
Oh
what,
yeah. Yeah.
the body does remember. And so, your closing thoughts, Teresa?
Oh, my closing thoughts. Um, I think again, the self awareness. I think being committed to yourself and knowing your own progress, knowing what you can do, pushing yourself, but not pushing yourself crazy, where it's either going to be an injury or you're going to stop doing something because it's not any fun anymore. I think everything has to be fun. I think we all need to spend time alone with ourselves to really get to know ourselves and to really listen to that inner voice that we all have. And I think one of the beauties of yoga is not only is it a physical practice, and like you said, there were parts of your body you hadn't stretched, you hadn't been aware of. With yoga, it makes you aware of every part of your body because the focus is really on the posture. The focus, there's no competition. You're not competing against somebody else. You don't have to be a pretzel to be able to do postures. There's all different levels. There's always an alternate pose. So I really think yoga is one of the best. I hate to really even call it an exercise. I call it a practice. That it's really the best thing that you could do for yourself because it works every muscle in your body. It helps you out emotionally because your focus is on the posture and the focus isn't really on I can't do this or I could do this well or look at me, I'm doing this. The focus is on the present moment. And that's so important that when we live our lives, and also, I think that age is just a number. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly. In a short time, the middle of July, July 15th, I'm going to be 70 years old.
Wow.
And I don't think of it as being 70 as being older. I think if you could keep active, and sure, there are things that happen to people that maybe they can't be as active, but then you could always keep, if you can't be physically active, you could be spiritually active and emotionally active. But I think really engaging oneself in life on a daily basis is really what longevity is all about. And it doesn't matter your age. I've played tennis with people in their 90s and they beat
Wow.
me because they're better than I am at it and they don't let age get in their way. So I would say to anybody that you're really only as old as you think you are. Age is a number, that if you could engage, if you could do it physically, great. If you're limited physically, then emotionally, spiritually, but just connect with your life on a daily basis. Take control because once we're more in charge and we feel that we have more in charge and control over things, that also contributes to our longevity because we don't feel that life is out of our control. And part of depression and anxiety is feeling that you have no control over things. We don't have 100% control. We don't need 100% control, but most things, there's always something we can do to help ourselves, regardless of our situation, our condition, or our age. There's nothing that's impossible, and I'm not saying that everything is possible. I'm not going to make the U.S. Tennis Open and be a tennis professional at age 70, but I could certainly continue to play the game,
Yes.
knowing my limitations and not striving to be that champion because I'm not Serena Williams. I'm never going to be Serena Williams, and it doesn't matter. It's me doing what I enjoy, having fun, being aware, and knowing my capabilities. So I think that's what it's all about is we're
That's so
realistic
good.
with ourselves also.
That's it. That's it. Well, you have been with the author, Teresa Ann Palmer, and it's the book Heal Your Heart from Within. And you can get it from her website, www.wellbeinggal.com. And you can connect with Teresa. What you're going to read in her book is some of the techniques, tips that she's been talking about today. But she can also work with interested in going deeper and having deeper understanding of what she's sharing in the book, you just want to reach out to her and connect with her directly and get that one-on-one attention that you deserve and you need. And so, anyway, without further ado, this has been Own It Magazine, and we are so thankful to have contributing writer with us, taking center stage and owning it with me, Teresa Ann Palmer. Thank you so much for
And
taking time out of your
thank
day.
you for joining us.
Have a good night.
So long. Thank you, everyone.